personal foul.
That was absolutely ridiculous!
The Boston Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
Up on down. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series!
I don't know. It's tough. Tom's up there, man. Beantown.
What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Jesse Almeida here on YouTube and on Beantown Takes here. And per request from you guys just would rather have me continue the podcast by myself, me talking, so on and so forth. So you know what? I'm going to bring that to you guys. The podcasts are not going to be obviously as long as they used to be because I don't have somebody debating with here. And I'm going to have to go on my look at the stats on my own. But you guys still want the podcast. So we're going to bring the podcast back here. And it's just going to be me. I hope you guys don't get bored with it. I'll try and keep it as short as possible. So leave a like down below if you guys enjoy. Subscribe right now if you're new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. Link is in the description down below. Also, go check out our Venmo account if you want to donate to us to go to games. Anything helps me, I should say. We appreciate all the love and support. Mike is not here right now. He's actually texting me right now. He's at work. He's been slammed. He's been juggling a few jobs here and there, so we haven't been able to link as much as we want to. Trust me, he's angry too that he has to work like 80 hours a week or whatever. So it's unfortunate that he's busy all the time, but like at the same time we still have a show to do, so like I have to figure out ways to incorporate podcasts, videos, going to games, reaction videos, and other like stuff like that, because you guys have been hitting the subscribe button recently, and I want to get out the most content that I can do for you guys in terms of Boston sports. We've been getting so much love. You guys loved the Kyrie Irving video. Kyrie Irving video. You guys loved the fact that I went to that game last Sunday. At the recording of this video here, at the recording of this podcast, I am going to see number 5 retired in the banners up in the rafters at TD Garden. Yes, today is March 13th, the day that I'm recording it. KG is getting his number retired, and your boy's going to be there. I'm going to be recording it for you guys. It might be a 2-parter video, so be on the lookout for the game side, and then be on the lookout for the ceremony side as well. I don't think I'm going to record a lot of gameplay for this game, so it might be a little shorter video. I don't think you guys will mind that, honestly, because my game videos are like 40 minutes long or whatever, so I think a short video you guys won't mind as much. But we got some news to cover for Boston sports. And without further ado, we are going to start off with the Boston Red Sox.
Ladies and gentlemen, the battery for Boston is on.
So, the lockout is over. Thank God. Thank God the lockout is over. Because, honestly, I don't know what I was going to do if baseball was going to be starting in June. I've been hearing that it was going to start in June. I've been hearing that from people that are reporting it to me. I have some insiders from Fenway and blah, blah, blah. And they were saying that June was the most reasonable possibility for baseball to return. But no! We're getting a full 162 games this season, and I am for it. I'm so glad we are getting the full 162 game regular season, especially after the fact that we had this fantastic baseball season last year with the Red Sox, overachieving, 2 games away from the World Series. We're looking great, kinda. But I'm excited for the 2022 baseball season. I don't think I've been this excited for a baseball season since 2016, 18 maybe. you know, when we're getting hyped up as one of the favorites to win the World Series. I don't think I've been that excited for a baseball season in a long time. So, the owners and the players have made an agreement. They've came to agreement. They've finally got their greed out of the way, and they came together and made a deal. You don't need to know too much of the deals, of the aspects of this deal, but the only few things that you need to know is that in 2023, baseball is going to be a whole different game. And this season, too, because there's going to be 12 teams in the postseason this year. I personally don't like that because it's getting rid of... I think they're going to get rid of the one-game wild card. And that was probably the best video that I did last year because of how exciting it was. But that's okay. I would rather have things getting changed and having a season than staying pat and not having a season. Bigger bases are coming, which means more steals are coming, more excitement in the game, pitch clock is coming, I love that. The shift is being banned. I'm in the middle of that because, yeah, they're getting the numbers for their shifts through analytics, and that is obviously not a good thing. But at the same time, I think to myself, if you don't like the shift, then learn to adjust in the batter's box and hit it the opposite direction. Suck it up. Suck it up. Why? I forget. I don't know where. I don't think I can find it anymore. But there was a tweet that I saw the other day saying, imagine if the NFL got rid of the two cornerbacks in the backfield because the quarterback cannot throw a deep bomb. Pretty much comparing that to getting rid of the ban, getting rid of the shifts, excuse me. I agree with that. If you can't adjust and hit the ball to the opposite field, are you really an athlete? Because in baseball, an athlete, right, is the ability to adjust to things quick. Okay? Being quick to adjust. But I can actually pull up the exact definition of an athlete right now. Hold on one second. A person who is proficient in sports and other form of physical exercise is the true definition of an athlete. If you're proficient at sports, if you're proficient at baseball, you should be able to learn how to hit the ball the opposite field. What is the real definition of an athlete? A person who is trained or skilled in exercises, sports, games, or require physical strength, agility, stamina, or or adjustment. There you go. There you go. So, in other words, why can't you just learn how to hit the ball the opposite field? Why can't you just adjust to the outside pitch and hit the ball where the pitch is thrown? Why can't you do that? So I'm in the middle of that. Now, let's drift away. Oh, I forgot one more thing on the lockout. The other thing you need to know about the MLB lockout is that the Red Sox now have $27 extra million to spend. So, you should be in on somebody good. And I don't want to hear a bunch of analytic players coming to the game because, like, we like his spin rate. We like his fastball. We like this. We like that. Blah, blah, blah. No, I want you to get a legitimate player. A legitimate player. If that means, Even if it's just Kyle Schwarber, who proved he can play in Fenway. Fine. Fine. But you should be in on guys like Freddie Freeman, Chris Bryant. I've been hearing Trevor's story, but Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber. You should be in on those guys. You should be so in on those guys. There should be no reason why you don't spend a little bit of money. There should be zero reason for that. Now, let's go look at some of the moves that the Red Sox made before the trade deadline. The Red Sox lost Eduardo Rodriguez. And I gotta give credit where credit's due. Mike called it. My God, the contract that he got from Detroit? Congrats. Congrats to you. Congrats to you. 5 years, $77 million. Basically, what? Right at that qualifying offer mark? Did not think you were going to get that. I really didn't think you were going to get that. Because you were just coming off an injury year. And you were 13-8, 4.74 ERA, not the greatest in the world. But apparently these teams like your analytic numbers. And I guess he was the youngest pitcher in the market that was available. The Red Sox get a compensation pick for him, though. So you get that. That's good. In 2019, he had a 3.8 ERA. 19-6. That was his best year. 2018, 13-5. 3.82 ERA. He's been around the fours. In his career, he has a 4.16 ERA. That's meh. That's kind of meh. Compared to what the guy the Red Sox got, I kind of like this fit a lot better. I'm not going to lie to you. I know he's coming off a Tommy John surgery. I get it. I get that. In 2020, that's when he got hurt. His numbers prior to 2020 have been really good for the most part. And I love his stuff. 3.82 ERA with the Yankees in 2019. That was the year he got paid. 15-6. The year prior, 3.76 ERA with Seattle. 11 wins, 6 losses. 2017, which was his best year, and arguably could have been Cy Young winner. 2.98 ERA, 12 wins, 5 losses in 24 games started. Other than that, he's been 6-7, 3-4, 6-4, 3-0. But his ERA has never been over 4. When this guy's on his A game, this guy could pitch. He's turning 33, so he's a little bit older, on the older side. But I still like what he brings to the table. I still like what he brings to your rotation. He throws harder than Erod. His stuff is more nasty than Erod, I think. So yes, I like this move. I like this move. And I don't think you paid too much to get him. No, you paid 1 year, $6 mil with a team option for next year. For next year and 2024. So you could have him for 3 years. I didn't even know that. And they're team options. That's pretty good. If he's healthy, I like this move better than keeping Erod. Then, obviously, they went analytic-y and got Rich Hill back, the oldest pitcher in baseball, which, alright, I guess, for your number 5 starter, okay, fine. Fine. But that's just another meh guy. And I like Rich Hill, don't get me wrong, I like him. I've always liked the guy. And if he's 42 and he can give you a 3.75 ERA, like last year, he pitched in a total of, does that say 32 games? 32 games. He had a 3.86 ERA. I'm assuming he came out of the bullpen for a little bit. Then fine. Fine. That's fine. But the next move I'm going to talk about, I do not get this move whatsoever unless you are getting another guy. Like I said before, Chris Bryant, Kyle Schwarber, or, come on, where are the names? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. They really didn't. Or Seiya Suzuki, who is planning on coming to the big leagues. Anthony Rizzo. Even Michael Conforto. Nick Castellanos. Unless you're getting somebody like that, I don't get this move. You literally traded a guy who last year hit 31 homers, batted .260, drove in 100 RBIs. He's a 30 homer, 100 RBI guy, known for. And you traded him for, statistically, the worst hitter in baseball. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I love Jackie Bradley. As a fan, he's, in 2018, you don't win the World Series without him. You don't. He is, defensively, one of the best outfielders in baseball. Period. He should have way more Gold Gloves than he does right now. But to trade Renfroe for this guy, a guy who bats .163, and he's getting paid $12 million to play for your team this year, when you could have paid Renfroe, what, 8? Just to get 2 prospects? I think one of the prospects is like their number 16th best, something like that. But, come on. Come on, we were just getting our offense back to normal. And we bring this guy in. If we're bringing him into platoon, like Chris Bryant or somebody big like that, then that makes all the sense in the world to trade Renfroe for Jackie Bradley and 2 decent prospects. Then that makes sense. But if we're not getting another guy, this makes no sense in the world. This trade makes no sense. So I get it. They like his analytics. I get that they like his analytics. But maybe the shift back to Fenway will help him out. But I don't know. I really don't like the move, other than the fact that they got 2 decent prospects for him. And I don't know. I just don't get the move for Jackie Bradley Jr. when you had a guy who hit 30 home runs in a season, and then also 100 RBIs, who batted .260. He could at least hit. He could at least hit and play the game of baseball. The only thing Jackie Bradley is good for is his defense. That's really it. Again, if they're getting somebody else, then to trade Hunter Renfroe high for prospects, then that makes all the sense in the world. Because then the Red Sox are taking on Jackie Bradley's contract, I guess, to get the 2 decent prospects. Fine. It's only fine if you're getting somebody else. That's it. That's all I have to say for the Red Sox. I'm excited for this season. I'm going to get more predictions going forward. I want to see them get another bat, whether it's Schwarber back or the other guys that I named, Chris Bryant, Nick Castellanos, Rizzo, Freeman, And then another reliever. I know they've been in on the reliever market, so I want to see another reliever, and I want to see another bat. That's all I have for the Red Sox. We move on. Let's move on to the Celtics. We have to talk about the Celtics. The Celtics are next. I'm skipping over because they've been the hottest team in Boston recently. They've been the biggest news so far in Boston sports. I probably should have started off with them, honestly.
Well, I've been a fan of Boston Celtics for, my whole life pretty much.
First Celtics game was back when I was like 7.
The Boston Celtics became legendary.
Finally, I get to talk good about the Celtics. I feel like it's been a long time since I've been on a podcast talking about the Celtics in a good way. Now, if you guys have been living under a rock recently, the Celtics have been playing good. Actually, they've been playing really good. They are at 41 wins and 27 losses. They faced Dallas today, who's 41 and 26. But so got an even matchup today. And at the recording of this, I will be at this game. Actually, I'm leaving in about 45 minutes, so I got to finish up this video real fast. And the biggest story for the Celtics has been that this team has finally bought in. This team is exciting to watch. This team has been... I just go to the next day saying, when are the Celtics on next? That's how I want to feel watching everyone. If you guys have been on the website, Beantown Takes, I uploaded an article. And the one thing that I mentioned was, when a team does not look as good as they should, you have every single right to criticize them for underachieving. When they're not buying into their role and being selfish, here in Boston at least, here in Boston, we care about winning. And I don't mean winning like winning if you don't win a championship, it's a bust. We want a winning season. We want a season where we can feel good about our team. That's what we feel like. So when we have expectations for a team and they underachieve those expectations, it's a failure of a season. For example, the Red Sox. I had them a first-round exit at the beginning of the year last year. A wild card team. I had them at a wild card team and a first-round exit. They were 2 games away from the World Series. A successful season. They were, at some points, the best team in baseball. Then they struggled. I got angry at them because they sold on the season. The front office staff, at least. And then they just, in the postseason, turned it up. They had a successful season. The Patriots. I wrote about the Patriots. My expectation was they're going to be in the playoffs, and based off of how much they spent, they're going to be competitive in the first round, but they might not make it to the AFC Championship. They failed my expectations miserably. They weren't even competitive in the postseason. They didn't even make it out of the wild card round. I had them making it out of the wild card round. They didn't even do that. They had a failure of a season. The Celtics, so far for me, have had a successful season. So far, at least. But now, I expect them to make it to at least the second round. Do not be a first-round exit to, like, Cleveland, or the Bulls, or whoever. There are only 3 teams that I can confidently say, if you lose to them, whatever. Fine. That's Milwaukee, that's the Sixers, and a fully loaded Brooklyn Nets team. If you want to argue with me, Miami, fine. Fine. But you should at least be 7 games to Miami. At least. You should be competitive with everybody in the East. And if you're like the Patriots and you're not competitive in the playoffs, that's a failure. That's a failure of a season. Shout out to Brown, who's bought into the role, who's been passing the ball a lot more, not ISO balling. Same with Tatum, same with Smart, same with all of them. Shout out to Brad Stevens for getting rid of ball-dominant guys to acquire Derek White, who is very good at playmaking, defense, and it doesn't really change up the Celtics game off the bench. Kudos to him. Because is Josh Richardson a better shooter than Derek White? Yes. However, is he a better playmaker, defender, hustler than Derek White? No. No, no, no. Derek White is a better all-around player than Josh Richardson. Derek White is literally maybe just as good, maybe a little better, maybe a little worse than Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart has been playing very well recently. He's bought into his role. He's not the guy who shoots the ball like Steph Curry, getting his shots, blah, 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 like he used to. He's actually playing like a point guard. And that's what you needed Marcus Smart to be in order to win. Along with his defense, absolutely insane. And this Celtics team right now, I could definitely see them going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I could see them doing it. Why not them? Why not them? And why not Jason Tatum leading the way? He has just been on another level. If he keeps this up, watch out. Guys under the age of 24. My list. Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic, Ja Morant. I don't even think I have Zion at the top 5 because we have not seen much of Zion Williamson. But this kid's legit. He has some balls. He really has some balls in him. And he has some competitiveness in him. Last 10 games, he's averaging 33 points a game. 5 assists! 5 assists a game, too, as a scorer. 7 rebounds. He's been playing very great defensively. He hasn't been turning the ball over as much. He's shooting the ball a lot more efficiently than he used to. This guy's legit. You can so win around this guy. Now, one thing that I still don't like about Jason Tatum is that he has to be liked from these other superstars or whatever. I don't have a picture for this because whatever. But last Sunday, when the Celtics beat the Brooklyn Nets in a classic Celtics game, that game was unbelievable. Tatum dropped 54. He shot the ball very well. He shot the ball 16 for 30, 8 for 15 from 3. The team played all around good. If we go to the box score, Durant had 37. Bruce Brown had 16. Brooklyn was on their A game. Kyrie wasn't as good. But then you go to the Celtics. Everybody contributed. Al Horford had 13, 4 assists, 7 rebounds. Tatum had 54 that game and shot 30 shots, but it didn't feel like that because he had a lot of hockey assists. He only had 3 assists, but he had a lot of plays where he made the right decision. He's attacking the hoop a lot more, and he's playing with this aggression. He's playing with this grit. Jaylen Brown had 21. Marcus Smart had 14. Robert Williams has just been on a whole new level. He's going to be... Robert Williams is going to be the key link to your defensive core in the next few years. That's my opinion. And you're in the luxury tax, too. You can boost your bench. This team's going to be scary in the next couple of years. But the one thing I don't like still is that Tatum feels the need to have all the other superstars still like him. Like last Sunday, at the end of the game, when the Celtics iced it, when Jaylen Brown got fouled to go to the free throw line, the crowd started chanting, "Kyrie sucks." It was great. And Jason Tatum waved you off like you're out of line or whatever. Like, oh God, Tatum, please, just let it go. This is good. This is good. This is a classic. Compared to the guy who's getting his number retired today, like, yeah, let's go. Let's keep it up going. Kyrie sucks. Yeah. Celtics Nation, get up. Come on, Tatum. It was good. It was not out of line. We were going based off the basketball sense. And the fact that, and I don't care, fans are still bugged the fact that the way that the Kyrie Irving things went. And rightfully so. He gave up on you. He spat in your face. He promised that he would be back. And he lied. I don't care. If somebody lies to me like that, if somebody lies to me, I don't like that person. And I am going to boo them. I find honesty and the truth way more valuable than anything in the world. I'm one of those guys. So yes, I hate Kyrie. Yes, I do hate Kyrie. And I don't care what Kyrie says. He can try and take shots at the Celtics fans all he wants, but he was bugged by it. He was bugged by that chant. You know, he was laughing like, yeah, F you guys. Yeah, whatever. That's what he was saying. He knew the Celtics fans got to him. Yeah, and he can say all he wants. It's one game, whatever. But he's bugged by it. He knows he was wrong. He knows that the Celtics fans were not out of line by that whatsoever. And God, I can't stand that guy. He was weird after the game. And honestly, I loved it when they chanted Kyrie sucks. That was the greatest thing. And especially the fact that he did not play that good either. He had 19 points, but he had a very, very quiet 19 points. I don't even think he showed up he showed up late in the fourth quarter, but that's about it. Other than that, he played decent, but not like what you're accustomed to a skilled player like him. I don't know, man. I just wish Tatum just let it go instead of just waving the crowd down. He shouldn't have waved the crowd down. Should have just let it go. It wasn't out of line. We weren't calling him anything oblivious. We weren't crossing that line or whatever. Unlike the other guy who you can't even go basketball-wise, who I'm going to mention at the end of this podcast. But that's all I got on the Celtics. Next up is the Bruins. In the middle with the Bruins this year. I'm kind of in the middle with them.
What's up, Boston Bruins? Boston Bruins!
Bruins, I'm kind kind of in the middle of them this year. I don't know. Part of me is like, they're back. But then part of me like, this has been so them this year. Now, there's been 2 videos that I have done for the Bruins. Well, actually, no. Excuse me. There's been 1 video I've done for the Bruins on this regular season. There's been 2 games that I've been to this season total. Both games that I've been to, absolutely annihilated. They got annihilated. By they, I mean the Bruins. And right now, trade deadline's coming. And here's my take on the Bruins and what they should do. I really don't. I gotta be honest. I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer what they should do. Because I've been hearing people say that they should buy. Like they should trade for Chychrun from the Arizona Coyotes. I've been hearing that they should do this, blah, blah, blah. I know one thing for sure, though. They should definitely be trading Jake DeBrusk. Jake DeBrusk has been on fire. He's been on fire. And if the Red Sox can sell high on Hunter Renfroe for 2 prospects for JBJ, 2 prospects and JBJ, then you definitely should sell high on DeBrusk. Especially if it can get you a piece. For this season and the future. I guess Chychrun has a good contract. So that's why they're saying, hey, if you're going to buy, they should definitely get Chychrun. But other than that, I really don't know who you buy on. I have been hearing Phil Kessel, but it's just like, They have some needs. They have some needs. You need another elite defenseman. And what I mean by that is you need someone who can play defense. I am sick and tired of the 6-foot defensemen that we have. You know, they can't hit. They can't play physical, whatever. Because that's been a part of our game that we've been missing, is physicality. We have not been physical at all this year. And that is why the Bruins have been so up and down this season. That goes for the goaltending too, obviously. But I get it, I guess. But the defense and the second line center, my God. My God, please get somebody in to fill that hole. Either that or you sell. You trade Jake DeBrusk. You trade Foligno. I don't know who would take Foligno now because he has not been playing good this year. Basically what I'm saying is you trade it. Anybody's on the table except for like your core guys. McAvoy, Pasternak, Marchand, Bergeron. Taylor Hall. Other than that, I would not lose sleep if any of the other player goes. Swayman, I think you have to keep because he's been looking very good. I think you have to keep Swayman too. But other than that, I could care less what they do. Don't get me wrong. The Bruins are 7th in the Eastern Conference. Okay? They have 77 points. They're 2 points behind 6th place and 5th place. And 4th place, actually. You could still be one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. That's why I'm so borderline with them. Because, yeah, they could still be on a roll. They could still be on the hunt this year. But at the same time, they have not looked as good as they have in previous years. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel on them. You know what I mean? And you're beating teams that you should, obviously, like Chicago, Arizona, Columbus. But you're having to dogfight for those wins. And I feel like you shouldn't have to dogfight for those wins if you're the Bruins. You lost to the Kings in overtime. I don't think you should lose to the Kings at all. I think the Kings are overrated. The Kings are 5th, but they're 72 points. They're 32, 20, and 8. Yeah, you should not lose to the Kings. You shouldn't be losing to the LA Kings. You shouldn't be losing to the Anaheim Ducks. You shouldn't be neck and neck with the Seattle Kraken. You shouldn't be neck and neck with the Ottawa Senators. You should not be losing to the Islanders. You should not be losing to these teams. You should not be close to these teams. That's what's been frustrating me. Is that you are having to dogfight for wins against teams that you should be beating without question, and you're having to dogfight for them. That's where my issue's been with this team. They do not look as physical as they do. They just don't look as, pure as they used to. That's how I've been watching it, at least. The only good win that I've seen that you've had recently, February 28th against the Kings, 7-0. Like, that's what you should be doing to these horrible teams. And the Kings are a playoff team, mind you, in the Western Conference. The Kings was a good win, 7-0 on the 28th. The Avalanche was a very good win, 5-1. But other than that, I really don't see. I guess Vegas was a good win. But other than that, the others have been dogfights against mediocre teams. And even Vegas, now that I'm seeing it, they're 32, 24, and 4. They have 68 points. They're the 8th seed in the Western Conference. Even them. I don't know. I'm glad Craig Smith is getting hot. Charlie Coyle, what's been saving you recently has not been your top 2 lines. They've been your bottom 2 lines. Your bottom 2 lines have arguably been better than your first 2 lines. They moved Pasternak to the second line. I don't know how I really feel about that, but I guess it's been working. But at the same time, I need to see a little bit more from this Bruins team to buy in. And I need to see them fill needs at the trade deadline in order for them to buy in. That's just that's really all I have to really say about the Bruins. I'm going to take back that you should sell if you're not going to get Chychrun. I'm going to take that back. At least trade away the guys that you don't need, like Foligno. What's another one? Nosek. Like, you know what? Like, there's a few guys on there like you could trade if you're not feeling like you're gonna be competitive this year. But don't sell. Don't sell. Either stay pat and possibly get rid of a few names that, like, won't hurt you in the playoffs, but also won't help you in the playoffs. Like I just said, Foligno is one of those examples. Or you sell high on DeBrusque, you get Jacob Chychrun from Arizona, and maybe go for it one more time. But I don't know. I don't know about this Bruins team. I'm in the middle with them right now. want to be, I really, guys, I promise you, I really want to be in on the Bruins. But at the same time, I don't know how to feel about the Bruins. That's it. That's been the Bruins this year. There's been times where I get all, yay, wee, the Bruins are back, yay! And then there's games where I'm just like, oh, what the Bruins? It's been so them. I mean, the Celtics, at least, when they struggled at the beginning of the year, I was just like, yeah, they suck. Yeah, maybe it's not going to work out. I don't know. I'll still hold hope, but, like, I don't know. I'd rather have the incline rather than, like, a roller coaster. Because then I'm just like, what do you do? What do you really do at that point? Patriots coming next. Don't really have too much to say about the Patriots because there's not really that much news on the Patriots. That's why they are last. But giving you my grade on the Patriots 2021-22 season. It's not a good one. It's not a good one.
Hey, go. Watch. Are you ready for some football?
I love the Patriots.
All right, Patriots. So, just going to jump right into it. My grade for the 2021-2022 Patriots season. Before the wildcard game against the Bills, I had the Patriots at like a B season. Like, they met my expectations. So I had them at a B-, C+, B, anywhere around that range. Until that playoff game. And then when I watched that playoff game, I think I said this at the end of the article that I wrote for the Patriots. I have them, guys, their season at a D. A D. They failed my expectations. They failed my expectations. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. It just makes me angry because it's just like, what, Bill? What? What are you going to do now? We need wide receivers. You just let J.C. Jackson go. Like, what are we doing here? Do we need J.C. Jackson? I think we do. Do I think we need help at the wide receiving core? I think we do. Mac Jones needs help. He needs a little bit more help. Hunter Henry was good this season. Kendrick Bourne was good this season. The biggest disappointment for me was Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith does not fit this system. Period. Mac Jones just really needs a solid number one to play alongside Bourne and Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers needs the ball a little more. Aguilar at the moment will be back next year, but there's been rumors that he might be traded for Robbie Anderson, which I wouldn't mind Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson's alright. He's better than Aguilar. But in my opinion, you need more than that for a wide receiving core. You need more than that. I think they should find a way to trade Jonnu Smith for anything just to get out of that contract. They're letting J.C. Jackson go. Devin McCourty could be done. He could be retiring. Dante Hightower's a free agent. There are key aspects in free agents that you don't know what's going to happen with them, and that you're going to need to fill their holes. So what are you going to do, Bill? You got to spend again this offseason. I don't want to hear the fact like they're right at the cap or whatever. There's ways to maneuver the cap in the NFL. Tom Brady just retired too. I'm upset about that really because like I wanted to still watch Brady play, blah, blah, blah. And obviously, the game is not going to be as good without Brady. Thank you, Brady, for all you've done for the NFL. But I really wish his career finished with the Patriots. And I don't care what fans say. Brady not mentioning you in his retirement post. So what? So what? He was wrongfully done by Bill. By you guys. Yes, you guys. When he came onto the field for the first time as a Buccaneer. On his first drive, you people booed him. You people booed him. So he goes, alright, I'm a thing in the past for you guys. I'm a thing in the past for you guys. Fine, you're a thing in the past for me. He's being petty, but I love it. I love it because that's making you guys angry. He's the one with 7 championships. You have 6. And you have 6 because of that guy. Brady. Bill has something to do with it, obviously. But at the end of the day, Brady's the one that's making the plays. In his retirement post, he gave it to you. And I love it. I love that. Because it really puts in perspective what he done. Now you got to really think about what he has done for you guys. And did he really deserve the boos? I'm going to go on my YouTube on my phone for a second. I'm going to pull up the Brady returning video. And there was a comment that I read. Here it is right here. 5 months ago from Ali M. Couldn't have put it more better. Couldn't have put my perspective more better. As a Brady fan, they commented, as a Brady fan, myself, I was a little surprised by the boos. I'm all for the noise making it tough on him, but the boos just didn't feel right. Couldn't have put that much better. Cheer for him when he's coming onto the field, but then after he's on the field, after that, that's it. Coming on, cheer for him. After that, game on. Make it tough on him. But don't boo him. Don't boo him after all he's done for you guys. That just makes me irritated. But the Patriots, they get a D. They get a D. My buddy was right. The only reason why they won so many of those games was because of injuries. And yes, he still has to go in to Gillette Stadium next year in a clown outfit. Because the Patriots finished 10-7. It's not like they finished 9-8 or 8-9, whatever. He still has to go do that. That's still he still acknowledges that he has to do that. So, but you know what? Yeah. Mike is right. They had a failure of a season. They overachieved. Wait, no. How do I put that? They failed expectations. They failed expectations. That's why he said it was a failure of a season for him. That's why I'm saying also is a failure of a season for them as well. They failed to meet expectations. At least be competitive against the Bills. I understand the Bills are better than you, but at least be competitive. Show us some competitiveness. They didn't show any competitiveness in that game. I wrap it up after this. So, breaking news coming out of the baseball world for the Red Sox, and it is involving the Red Sox. The Red Sox are losing a player. The Red Sox are losing Adam Ottavino, who's signing with the Mets on a 1-year, $4 million contract. Okay, I guess I'm okay losing Ottavino, but he's a bullpen guy. You need a bullpen guy. I'm okay losing Ottavino because Ottavino, not so great. But you need bullpen guys. I'm going to pull up Ottavino's stats right now. He had a 4.21 ERA. Yeah, I'm okay losing Ottavino. But the Sox need to just get into the market. We need relievers. We need an outfielder. We need this. We need a first baseman. Let's get going, guys. Let's get going with this. Thank you guys for watching this too. I hope you guys enjoyed a solo podcast. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe right now if you're new. You guys know what to do. I can't wait for KG's number retirement. I'm going to get ready right after this outro here. The Celtics have been playing great. The Bruins I'm in the middle of right now. Patriots get a D. The Red Sox are back. I'm excited for them. There's going to be a lot more Red Sox videos this year, I promise you guys. Last year, obviously, with COVID restrictions at the beginning of the year, it conflicted me with going to games a little bit. So, I'm expected to be able to go to more games this year now that we kind of have somewhat of a normal life. Compared to last year where we only had somewhat of a normal life for half the season. I'm expected to get more videos for the Red Sox than I did last year. Maybe I might do a road trip. I don't know. We're going to have to see how that plays out. And what else do I really have to say? Oh, after this Celtics video dropping tomorrow, because I'm going to drop it tomorrow, obviously, because I'm not going to get home till like 9 o'clock. And I'm not going to upload it. I'm not going to rush uploading it. This will probably be uploaded first. But after that Celtics video, there will be a game that I go for the Bruins. There will be a game that I go for the Bruins after this Celtics game here. So, once again, guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this little talk cast with myself, getting my side of things, whatever. Leave a like down below. Subscribe. Subscribe right now if you are new. You guys know what to do. Go check out my website. Link is in the description down below. Also, go check out the Venmo account if you want to donate. Anything helps. Appreciate all the love and support. It's been Jesse. And until next time, I'm gone. See you later, guys.
Beantown.
Beantown.
Beantown.